Okay, so today we are going to focus on how to find the mean and also the variance for a continuous random variable. All right, so generally, just like what you learned before in discrete random variable, when we want to find the mean, right, we also call it as expectation or expected value of x. And then when you write out, we usually will write out as ex. All right, and then how to find out the ex, okay, for a continuous random variable. Generally, you need to do integration also. So how you integrate it? You need to multiply the x into the function fx before you can integrate it. All right, so this is the formula for mean, or maybe the expected value lah. All right, so you have to remember this one. Okay, and then the value of x or the limit involved in the integration is the whole domain given by the question. All right, so again, please make sure that you remember to multiply the x into the fx before you do the integration. Okay, so why do we need to multiply the x? It is because of we are having the ex here. So you see this one is x right in the bracket, therefore we multiply the x before we do any integration. All right, so maybe you can try to memorize it like this if let's say you need something to help you and memorize. All right, then after that, there's one important note that you need to know here. When the function f is defined from a until b, and the graph has a line of symmetry in this interval, then the mean is the midpoint of the interval. Okay, so this is important information because sometimes, right, they give you a figure, and then from the figure itself, if you found that in the range given or in the domain given, right, you have a line of symmetry. Okay, so that means the mean will be the midpoint of the interval. So we'll discuss this example later. All right, but mainly for most of the question, you need to involve the integration part. Yeah. All right, so this is how we calculate the mean. Then how about we calculate the variance? All right, so to calculate the variance, generally the formula is still the same, which is ex squared minus mean squared. Okay, so what I want to talk about is the ex squared. Okay, so how can I get the ex squared again? So if you want to get the ex squared, you also need to do the integration. So how you integrate the ex squared? So if you look at the equation here, okay, because this is x squared in the bracket, right? E and then x squared. Therefore, when you want to do the integration, you multiply the x squared into the function first, then only you start to integrate it. And then minus the mean. Mean is something that you get just now, all right? And then you square the mean. All right, so in short, what you need to know is that, okay, if I have ex, that's the x in the bracket. So when you want to get the answer, you should multiply the x with the function and then to get the answer. If let's say they ask you to find ex squared, generally what you need to do is that you have to multiply x squared, multiply with fx, and then dx. If let's say they want you to find 3x, let's say, what you need to do is you can write it as bracket, then you multiply the 3x with the function fx first, then only you do the integration. So the idea is something like this. All right, but for us, usually we will apply these two only, like ex and also ex squared. So I hope that you can use this method to memorize the formula. All right, so when you're having x, multiply the x with the function. If you're having x squared, then multiply the x squared with the function. All right, so this is what we have for calculating the median, calculating the mean and also the variance for a continuous random variable. All right, so maybe you can start doing it now. Okay, so start with example 11. Okay, so there's a function here given from 0 until 3, and then they are saying that the mean is mu and the median of x is m. Okay, so first they want to find the mean. Okay, so how can we find the mean? So to find the mean, you want to have ex squared, ex, right? Okay, so for ex, what you need to do is that you have to do the integration from 0 until 3, because from this question itself, the domain given is 0 until 3. And then ex, therefore you have to multiply the x with the function. So this is the function. So 1 over 9. So you can see that or not, because of the ex here, I multiply the x into the function before I do any integration. Okay, all right. And then for the second part, they want you to calculate the probability for x smaller equals to mu. Okay, so how to get the probability for x smaller equals to mu? So this is something that you learned before. To get the probability x smaller equals to 9 over 4, again, you still need to do the integration. The smallest value is 0 until 9 over 4. Then your function is 1 over 9x squared and then dx. So again, you try to carry out the integration and you should get the answer 0.422. Okay, so the integration part you try to carry out yourself. Yeah. Then next, let's continue to the part number 3. They want you to find the probability that x lies between mu and also the median. M is median, right? Okay, so if I write the symbol correctly, they want you to find out the probability for x between mu and also the median. Okay, whether you put equal sign or no equal sign, there's no difference because this is continuous random variable. So if you didn't put any equal sign here, also doesn't matter, it's okay. Right, so how can I find the value here? The probability between mean and also the median. So some students will tell me that, okay, I do integration, so mean is 9 over 4. And then you don't know the value of median, right? So some students will say, okay, I try to find the value for median, then only I do the integration. You can do that if you want. But here I want to introduce another shortcut here. All right, let's say you are having this function, right? This is half 1 over 9x squared. Okay, so when you're having 1 over 9x squared, your graph might look something like this. It's a U-shaped curve, right? Okay, and then let's say this is a 3. Okay, so if they want you to find out x is between mean and also median, that means you should have a value something like this. You should have a mean like this, and then maybe this is median, and this is the area that they want you to find out. Maybe I highlight it better. So the yellow color part is the area that they want you to find out the probability. X is between mu and also m. Okay, all right. So now I don't know whether you still remember or not what have we learned in chapter 5 in AS level before about the normal distribution. When Z is between A and B, right? Usually I will teach my students a method that is I take the number, the probability. Okay, wait. All right. So usually I will tell the student that, okay, when you want to find the value, the probability of Z between two values, right? Generally, what you can do is that you can assume that, I think the purple color is not obvious here. Wait. Okay, so let's say this is the mu and median, and then this is the area that you want to find out. Okay, so to find this highlighted area, right, you can actually use, okay, I draw it by using the green color. This green color area, okay, minus the orange color area. Okay, then you'll get the highlighted area, which is the yellow color one. Okay, so what is the green color area? If you want to write out the symbol for green color area, it should be x smaller equals to m. Right now, because m and below, so it should be x smaller equals to m. And then you want to minus the orange color area. So when you want to write out the orange color, what is the value? X smaller equals to mu. Okay, so if you take x smaller equals to m minus x smaller equals to mu, then generally you'll get the yellow area that you want to find. Okay, so it is very similar to the normal distribution that you learned before. Okay, then what is the probability for x smaller equals to median? So you know that median actually covers from the smallest value until median, it is actually covered 50% of the data. So the probability for x smaller equals to 5, so smaller equals to median, it is always equals to 0.5. You don't need to do any calculation. All right, so you know that this is a value for x smaller equals to median. All right, and then how about the probability for x smaller equals to mu? So you just get the answer just now, right, which is 0.422. Therefore, if you try to simplify, you will get 5 over 64, or you may get 0.0781. So this is how we do it. You no need to purposely go and find the median, and after that you try to find the probability again. It is something too extra, too much. All right, so I'm just using some basic idea on the continuous random variable idea, the concept of the graph, and then you can get the answer very easily. All right, so you have to try to link everything like this. Okay, so this is what you have for example 11. Okay, so let's proceed further. For example 12. Okay, so if you look at example 12 here, they didn't give you the function. They only give you a figure. All right, so first they want to find the value of k. So to find the value of k, it is very simple. You just look at this triangle and try to find the area of the triangle. So the area of the triangle is equals to 1, and therefore you can get the value of k. So here I'm not going to show you the answer. You try it out yourself. The answer should be k equals to 1 over 5. Okay, and then after that they want you to find the EX. All right, so to find the EX, you generally have to form the equation of the function first. So how to form the equation of the function? You will know that this point itself is actually 0 and 1 over 5. And that point itself is 10 and 0. All right, so by using these 2 points, you can try to find the gradient of the line, gradient of the line. After that, use any of these passing point to form the equation. All right, so first you need to find equation first. Okay, so how to find the equation? You need to get the gradient first, then only you slowly find the equation. So I just want to tell you that the equation should be y equals to negative 1 over 50x plus 1 over 5. And then after that, when you want to get the answer for ex, you need to use this, you need to integrate this equation, multiply with x. Okay, and then from where until where? From 0 until 10. All right, so to get the ex, you need to do the integration from 0 until 10, and then you multiply the x with the function. So this is the function here, negative 1 over 50x plus 1 over 5. Okay, so please try to apply some knowledge, all right, on the integration part. And then if you didn't do any careless mistake, you should get an answer 10 over 3. All right, so this is another example that they didn't give you any equation of the function, so you have to form the equation yourself. And then usually the figure given will be very helpful. All right, okay, so this is what you have for example 12. Quite simple, so I want you to try out on your own. Okay, so next we try a slightly harder one, example 13. Okay, so for example 13, if you try to read the question, what are they talking about? They are talking about the length of stay at the town center car park, the length of stay in hours. Okay, so they are talking about the length of stay in hours. So X is in terms of hours, all right, in the unit of hours. Then this is the function that they have. And then X is from 1 until 9. That means minimum they will stay for 1 hour, maximum stay for 9 hours. Okay. All right, so first they want you to interpret the inequality X from 1 until 9, okay, in the context of the question. All right, so if you want to explain it, so that's why I told you just now, the car, they are talking about the car park, right? So that means the car will stay between minimum 1 hour, and then maximum is 9 hours. So you can say that all cars stay between 1 to 9 hours. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, then after that, for second part, they want you to show that k equals to 4 over 3. Sorry, 3 over 4. So this one I will leave it for you. Very easy. Okay, and then after that, they want you to calculate the mean length of stay. Again, this is not hard also. The mean length of stay means that you need to integrate from 1 until 9, and then for the equation that you get, so you'll get a 3. Okay, so to me, right, the first three parts here is not hard. Okay, it is very basic lah. Just the basic integration and then basic concept only. All right, then now we are talking about the next part here. Okay, so just now you know that the x is the length of stay, right? And then now they are talking about the charges. The charge for a length of stay of x hours is this dollar. Okay, so first they want to find the length of stay for a charge to be at least $0.75. So what is the charge? This is the charge, right? Okay, so for part number 4, if you want to find out the answer, right? So they are talking about the charge, okay, is at least. So at least means more than equals to $0.75. So what is the equation of the charge here? So the equation of charge is 1 minus e negative x greater equals to 0.75. So they are asked the length of stay, right? Length of stay means the x. So by using this inequality, they actually want you to calculate the value for x. Okay, so how can I get the value of x? So you try to remove everything to one side, and then you're having x power negative x, e power negative x smaller than 0.25. And then I try to take ln both sides. And I try to move the negative over, so you need to change the sign. Okay, so you can write it as x greater equals to 1.39 or negative ln 0.25 also can. So that means if you want the charges to be more than 0.75, right, you need to stay there for at least 1.39 hours. Then your charges only will more than 0.75. So that's the meaning. Okay. All right. Then now, next one. They want you to find the probability of the charge being at least 0.75, 1.39. So I keep it in the original value like this until the maximum hour, which is a 9, because I want to get the probability. And then the function that I have here is 3 over 4 x power negative 3 over 2. This is the function given on top. Okay. Then again, by applying the integration technique yourself at this part, your final answer should be 0.774. Okay, so this question is a bit tricky lah. To some of the students, they find that they are not so sure what the question is asking about. All right, but generally, part number 4, they are saying they are talking about the charges only. How long you need to park so that your charge will be more than or equals to 0.75. And then for part 5, they want to calculate the probability. Therefore, you need to integrate the function given on top to get the probability that they want. Okay, but of course I didn't complete everything for you, so you have to try to complete up all the steps I skipped here. Okay, but generally I just tell you a very rough idea how to do the question. Yeah, all right, so this is what I have for example 13. Okay, so continue to example 14. Okay, so for example 14, this question itself is not hard also. First, they give the continuous random variable like this, and you're having two unknown here, a and b, and then x is between 0 until 2. So, and they give you information ex is equals to 16 over 15. They want to find the value of a, and also they want you to find the value of b. Okay, so now this question is not hard as well. First, you try to use the concept that we learned in the very first lesson about the continuous random variable. That means when you integrate from 0 until 2 for the function, you let it equals to 1. Okay, so when you want to find out the constant from the equation, you also always use this concept, right? Okay, but too bad is this example you're having two unknown here, equation, which is something like this, 8 over 3a plus 2b excuse me, equals to 16 over 15. So this is the second equation. All right, so when you're having the both equation already, then you just try to solve this simultaneously. answer for A should be 1 over 10. Okay, so please wait for a while. My file is loading. Autosave, can save. So it's like it need to take some time. Right. So if let's say you continue correctly, right, you should get the value of A, which is equals to 1 over 10, and also B equals to 2 over 5. All right, so please make sure that you complete the steps that I skipped. Okay, so we'll stop here for this video, and then the next video we'll discuss example 15 until 17, right?